Hello everyone, and welcome to another Primal Carnage video. Now, it's been a while since I did one of these, and in that time a new patch came out with the Capture the Egg game type, and I actually did record audio for a video a while ago, but I had some technical issues, so unfortunately it's been delayed. It was actually a few weeks ago that this game type came out, and so I apologise for how late it is. But here it is. So we're now in patch 1.3 of Primal Carnage, and there were some pretty big problems with 1.2. I didn't enjoy that patch in the slightest. They buggered up a couple of my favourite classes, but luckily they've fixed it now, and there's still a few changes that need to be made when the next patch comes out, but overall it's really nice. As you may have noticed, some new premium skins have been added. The Dilophosaurus has been made into a Monolophosaurus, as you can see here. Cryolophosaurus, sorry, not Monolophosaurus. The Raptor has been made into an Oviraptor skin, and the Pteranodon has been made into a Tapijara, but I think it's Tupandactylus, which is a close relative of Tapijara. There are, for each of the premium skins, there are 2 skins, so there are 2 Tapijara skins, there are 2 Oviraptor skins, and 2 Cryo skins. They're all really nice, high quality stuff. I definitely recommend picking them up on Steam if you can, supporting the developers of this game. They're actually a higher quality to me than the original skins of the game, the original classes, so it'll be interesting to see the quality of future premium skins. So what you're seeing now is one of the new maps. I think this is called Forgotten Outpost, and it's the Capture the Egg game type. And the basic premise of this is, one end of the map you have the dinosaur base, and it has eggs in, 3 eggs. The other end is the human base, and the humans just have to get to the other side, grab the eggs, bring them back. It's just like Capture the Flag, really, except with multiple flags. It's a little tricky because it's a huge map. It's a long way to run if you're human, so there is a very good chance that you just get caught out and killed halfway across, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass trying to capture those eggs. You really do need a full group supporting you. You can see here I've actually got the other raptor skin being used at the moment. I'm just going around checking the eggs. It's a fun game type though, it's good. I don't enjoy it as much as Get to the Chopper, and unfortunately it encounters the same problems as Get to the Chopper in the sense that I barely get to play it because there are so few servers running it. Same with Get to the Chopper, I'm lucky if I ever get to play that because most of the time every server just has deathmatch, and it's a shame. It's one of the main things I've been wanting from this game is alternate game types, because it only launched with deathmatch, and now they're actually adding them. You barely get to play them because most servers don't play them, so that's a real shame, and I'm hoping that more official servers start getting put up that actually alternate the game types more. So yeah, there's that. So in regards to the classes, one of the biggest changes they made was to the Dilophosaurus class, and basically in patch 1.2 they pretty much destroyed it. They reduced the health down to 180. They removed the blind mechanic, and instead it did a 50% damage increase, and they removed the range spit as well, and also made it so that you actually had to roar in order to spit. And the Dilophosaurus became useless to me. It wasn't very survivable. It got destroyed pretty quickly and didn't do much damage, and it destroyed what I thought was good about that class, which is the ability to sort of jump in and out from the shadows and blind people, and I just hated it in patch 1.2. They changed it in 1.3 luckily, so that now you do blind people and you sort of slow them down a little bit so they get stunned as if they were tranked. You do still have less health, and you still have to roar in order to spit. The annoying thing about roaring in order to spit means that you basically give away your position to human players if you roar near them. So the idea is, as soon as you spawn, you roar, you find people, kill them, and out. You re-roar. You basically reload your spit if you're out of distance, like out of range, hearing range, or you do it in a situation where they already know you're there. Perhaps like in the middle of a firefight, if you just sort of run in and out again while other people are getting kills, you just sort of head out, reload, go back in again. So you actually have to play them a little bit as if you would a human class, being a bit conservative about your ammo. The sniper has been buffed majorly. She actually does 200 damage now. It changes depending on headshots. Headshots are actually 300 damage, so they're pretty much a insta-kill for raptors, dilos and pteranodons if you can actually get a headshot in. She's a little overpowered now, which is why I think the dilo's health needs to be boosted up to 200 at least, but I think it would be better if it was about 225. That would offset the fact that it just essentially the snipers, the scientist doesn't even really need to try. As long as they hit them once, they're dead. So that can be an issue, and the dilos just still go down way too quick. The pyros can completely annihilate you, as can the pathfinders. So as a dilo, you really just want to avoid those three classes completely. You can take out the scientist if you duck and dive a lot. It's still difficult for them to hit you. The trapper is probably the easiest one to kill, but again, if they trap you, you're buggered. The commando you can still kill as well if you try and get behind them and disorientate them and stuff, but the pyro and the pathfinder you pretty much want to completely avoid if you're a Dilophosaur. So yeah, I do think they need to buff the Dilo's health. The Raptor Pounce has been tightened up a lot, which is great. You have to aim a bit better. It's not quite as easy as it was before, where you could like miss someone and still it would lock on like a few seconds later, or less than a second later. Whereas with this, you do have to actually hit them. You have to aim at them a lot more. So yeah, I think the Raptor class has been tightened up a lot, and it's much better now. You can also see that's the new Pyro skin, the Dino Buster skin, I believe it is. That's on the Steam marketplace. This is the Tapijara skin, or one of them. I am rubbish with the Pteranodon class, so apologies in advance. I think I do really awful on this bit, but I thought I'd just show it off anyway, because it's a very pretty skin. The Pteranodon has actually been buffed. It's been made a bit bigger. The health has increased to 275. I think its damage might have increased as well, but it's a little easier to use. It's still very tricky to grab people, but I'm finding a little bit more luck. Before I found it impossible when I barely played the class, but now I'm finding it a little bit easier to lock onto people. So yeah, I'm enjoying that class now a little bit more than I was before. The only class I've really had issues with is the Dilophosaur. I think that one's been ruined essentially, but it's tolerable now. I do think they need to increase the health of it. But other than that, I like the fact that it now gets a damage buff from spitting at people. That's good. The dot damage has been removed, so once you spit at someone, you just have to bite them. Yeah, that was a stupid mistake on my part. I don't know why I bothered doing that. See, I actually find it easier getting kills as a Dilophosaur now, which is kind of cool. Whereas before, you had to be a lot more careful. Even though you had more health before, it took longer to kill someone, so you were hanging about people a lot more. I tended to be a bit more of a support class as Dilophosaur, and the good news is with the new one you can be a support class and do a lot more damage as well. I think the intent behind the Dilophosaur class is they want to add a large Dilophosaur. A lot of people have been asking for that, because in the original alpha, I think it was, of Primal Carnage, the Dilophosaur was actually around the size of the Raptor class, maybe a bit bigger, but they made it smaller because obviously it being more of a support class, it was too much of a target, so they wanted to make it a bit more stealthy and a bit smaller. But fans have been asking for the big Dilo to make a return, and so the intent, I believe, is that there will be another large Dilo subclass that will be, it will fulfill different needs, it will have different abilities. I don't quite know how different it will be and how those abilities will work, because we've only seen one half of the equation, as it were. But as you can see now, you can still go into the sort of close-up third-person mode. You just can't do the long-range spit, which I kind of liked, but you know, I haven't missed it too much. So yeah, there have been a few changes. The Dilo's suffered the most, but it's been rectified now, I believe. I think it's a lot easier to use, just needs more health. On the human side of things, the Pathfinder could use a nerf, like a lot. It's way too powerful now. It can just destroy anything that gets close. That guy, is outnumbered, but if you have a couple of Pathfinders, they can annihilate like Dilos and Raptors pretty easily. So yeah, I think they need a slight nerf, not too much. The Pyro, the Pyro's not had a good time. Basically, when you shoot with a flamethrower Pyro now, it slows down quite a lot, and in a fast-paced game like this, that's not good. You just get picked off so easily. They do a lot of damage still, and you do have your chainsaw when you get in a pickle, but I don't know. I think it's been nerfed a bit too much, and I think perhaps that movement penalty needs to be reduced a little bit. You see here, I'm ducking and diving as a Dilo, trying not to get hit by that machine gun. You really want to get behind them if you can. That's the best place, but really, obviously, goes without saying, to be honest. The T-Rex has been buffed quite a lot. It's a lot more difficult to face as a human. Takes a lot more damage, but it's not overpowered, I don't think. I think it's as powerful as you'd expect a T-Rex to be in a game like this. It's a tank class, and it feels like one. See, I think that's pretty much it in terms of my issues with patch 1.3. Like I said, patch 1.2 was pretty horrific, and I do think they've fixed a lot of the issues that were present in that patch. My only real problem is, as I say, is the fact that the Pyro's been nerfed too much and the Dilo needs more health. Other than that, I'm pretty content with all the classes and how they feel. I think this game type is pretty good, but I don't know, it just didn't hit me quite, it didn't impress me as much as Get to the Chopper. The map is a little bit long, and it can be a bit hard to get your bearings as well. So it feels like a bit of a chore going from one side of the other, especially if you get an egg and you actually solo it, because your group are just sitting in the human base trying to get cheap kills, and so you have to go out on your own, grab an egg, and you manage to get halfway across the map before someone picks you off. It's like, so people aren't really playing it as it needs to be played. Luckily, this human group, I say luckily, I'm actually fighting them, but this human group actually seems to be doing a pretty good job of staying together and trying to catch eggs. Or capture eggs. So yeah, I think this game type is solid, but I think perhaps there might be better maps for it. Hopefully they do some more of it, and we'll see how it goes, because at the moment this is the only map that you can play, capture the egg on. In terms of future news with Primal Carnage, there's not really much to say. There are obviously the 2 new classes coming out. What we believe to be the next class, I'm doing terrible at this T-Rex, is the Acrocanthosaurus. A model and a video model of an Acrocanthosaurus was put up on the channel of one of the people who makes the character models for Primal Carnage, and soon after, one of the devs basically posted those models on the forums, confirming that the Acrocanthosaurus will be in the game. Whether it's the subclass or the new class that's being added, it's hard to say. It might just be premium skin for the Rex, but originally we thought it was going to be Ceratosaurus, but I guess not. But we'll have to see. It's not been confirmed to be the new class, but it looks like it pretty much is. And I'm excited because I like Acrocanthosaurus, and it's a bit different. It's not what I expected, but I think it'll be cool, whether it's a premium skin or a new class. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you liked the video. I realise it's not the most gripping of gameplay, but it's just to show you off the new class. I'll have more videos coming out soon when a new patch hits or I get news. Cheers.